Hey YouTube, MaxZ2021 here, coming in with another haul slash sustained industry video, this time for May 2019. There's not really much to show, I guess, so I'll just get into it. I'm just going to get the one game out of the way, since that's the one thing I got the least of. Picked up Crystal Crisis. This ended up getting delayed a bunch. It's another crossover game that Nicholas published in the same vein as Blade Strangers, though whereas this is a fighting game with like a bunch of indie game characters and some non-indie game characters, I guess. This one's more of a Super Puzzle Fighter 2 clone, where you like match uh, blocks of the same color, and then you touch them with some kind of uh, orb thing, and it will uh, cause you to send garbage blocks to your opponent. It also comes with this little cube thing, kind of like one of those fidget toys. I'm not sure exactly how it sticks together, probably magnets or something. But yeah, there's like words on the back or whatever. Uh, oh right, it's got reversible cover art. Let me take the manual out of the way. Okay, so there's the front and back, like what you would see on the outer box, and then the reversible cover art. Now, while I think it looks pretty cool, I'm kind of bummed that Umihara Kawase isn't featured on it. Also comes with a manual. You got like info on the characters, like what their special moves are, what their disruptions look like when you use one of their attack moves or whatever. So that's cool. It's pretty fun from what I've played so far. I mean, I haven't had a chance to really play it too much, but yeah, looking forward to getting more into this. Let's move that out of the way. All right, next up, we got the Lego Movie 2. Now, I absolutely love the first movie. One of my all-time favorite movies. And I think I saw it in theaters 3 times, maybe 2 or 3 times. I forget exactly how many. But I was supposed to go see this when it was playing in theaters earlier this year, and I just didn't have a chance to go because the person I was going to go with, they ended up getting busy at the time, and they just weren't able to make it, I guess. So, yeah, I just ended up having to wait for the home release. So, yeah, as soon as I have some free time, I'm probably gonna watch it. I'm not sure how it holds up to the first movie. I've heard mixed things about it, but I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna like it. I mean, maybe not as much as the first one, but I'm sure it's got its good points. Next up, the last movie, we got Mirai, the most recent Mamoru Hosoda movie. And when this one got announced, that's when I saw people starting to notice this 3 year cycle that he has, where he puts out a new movie every 3 years, and he's been doing that since The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. And yeah, like I kind of noticed. Wait, yeah, I think that was around the same time I noticed it too, unless it was when the one before this one came out or whatever. But anyways, so I actually got to see this one in theaters because they were doing a limited screening back in the beginning of December. Uh, Me and another friend took my best friend to go see it for his birthday, and I think they had a screening for the sub and the dub on like different days, but we were only able to go see the sub for it. And yeah, whenever I watch it again, I'm gonna check out the dub, see which one I like more. One thing that I did like is that they got Tatsuro Yamashita to do the opening and ending songs. So yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, I don't think it's his best movie. Like I don't know if he'll ever be able to top Wolf Children, but I want to say the more I thought about this one after I watched it, the more I ended up liking it overall. So yeah, I think it's good in its own right, but at the same time, I think his other movies are slightly better. Well, some of them, but yeah, this one's definitely worth checking out at least once. So yeah, let's move on to the next thing. Okay, so next I picked up a lot of view volumes. We got volumes 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7 of Midori Days. And I got volumes 3 and 8 on the way, so all I really need now is volume 6. Now, prior to getting these volumes, I already owned volume 1 and the complete DVD set for the anime. But, yeah, looking forward to finally checking out the manga, because I read like some of the first 2 volumes at a friend's house years ago before I got volume 1, but I think it was after I watched the anime. But yeah, I'm wondering, I might need to rewatch the anime once I finish reading this to see how much didn't get adapted into it. Because considering this is 8 volumes long, I'm pretty sure they weren't able to cover everything or something. I don't exactly remember everything that happens in the anime since I watched it back in 2012 or 2013. But yeah, that's gonna be pretty fun to check out. I might do a video once I finish reading it. So yeah, maybe look forward to that if I ever can find volume 6 for a decent price. Okay, next up we got volume 5 of the Full Metal edition of Full Metal Alchemist. One thing that I wanted to point out with this volume is that unlike the first 4 volumes, if you look by the numbers and above the at the top of the spine, you'll see that there's some lines. And if you look at volume 5, I don't know if it's just like a first print error or what, but it's missing lines. So that's pretty not cool. I don't know what happened there. Maybe Viz will fix it in future printings. But yeah, if anybody watching this is a stickler for consistency with volume spines, just be on the lookout if you're buying these. Like, maybe wait and see if Viz reprints the 5th one. But yeah, there's that. And lastly, we have the first volume of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable. Now, I say first volume, but it's technically the first two volumes. They did them similar to the JoJonian volumes. Hold on, I'm gonna go grab one of those real quick. Okay, so yeah, so in Japan, there's I mean, for anybody watching this that didn't know, for the first three parts of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, at some point in time, I forget exactly when. I think they're pretty. I think they're recent, but parts 1 through 3, they got these reprints, or they got these new editions or releases or whatever that are essentially like omnibus volumes, and they're hardback. They have color pages, bigger page size, I guess. Maybe updated translation or something. And then they got like these little things in the back where it's got Araki talking about stuff that went on when he was making part 1 and so on. Yeah, it doesn't say when the JoJonian volumes first came out. It just has the original, means the initial year that part 1 started. Anyways, so there are only JoJonian volumes for parts 1 through 3. There's 3 for part 1, 4 for part 2, and I think 7, 8, or 9 for part 3. Pretty sure it's 9. Anyways, after that, there weren't any like special re-releases or whatever for parts 4 through 7, and it's currently up to part 8. But putting that aside, for the English release, Viz went and did these 2-in-1 omnibus volumes for part 4 that are similar to the JoJonian volumes. So these are hardback. They got color pages. Yeah, just same stuff you would find in the JoJonian volumes. And instead of having like special edition covers, like with part 1, the original release for volume 1 of part 1 has Jonathan and Dio on the cover. And for the JoJonian volumes, they did like, Araki went and redrew the characters in his current art style at the time that these were released. So, yeah, instead of getting something like that, or like these little question things in the back and like talking about the characters or whatever, for the English release of part 4, what we have is the original Tankobon volume covers on the front and back. So here's the cover for volume 1 and the cover for volume 2. And wait, let me see if I can get to it. And at the very back of the volume, they have the little author's liner note things that you usually find at the beginning of a manga volume. On Japanese volumes, these would usually be on the front of the dust jacket, and for English volumes, these would usually be on the first page or one of the first pages, if there is one, unless it ends up getting printed in the back or whatever. But yeah, just like with the other English releases, they also changed the names up. I mean, mostly to avoid copyright laws, since in the original Japanese version, Araki named a lot of characters and stands after bands or musicians or songs. And for the English release, or the English translations of parts 1, 2, and 3, and now part 4, and any of the games that feature characters from like parts 5, 6, 7, and 8. They went and changed up the names that are a reference to a song or a band or whatever, and made it either something that sounds similar enough, or they just like changed the spelling a little bit or something. But yeah, some of them I kind of agree with. Like like for a Josuke stand, its original name is Crazy Diamond, named after a Pink Floyd song. But in the English translation, it's Shining Diamond, which I think kind of fits. And then I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, I think it's just surreal that Part 4 finally has an English translation. And yeah, I think it was worth the wait. But yeah, it's finally out in English now. I think for the volumes for Part 4, it's a quarterly release, so that's like a new volume every 3 months. But I'm guessing once we get closer to the end of Part 4, Biz will announce English release for Part 5, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, look forward to that. Oh, and these are also $20, so that's cool. But, yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next video whenever I put out another one. Yeah, if you want to ask any questions about anything I showed, drop a comment or something. I'll get back to it at some point. Yeah, thanks for watching.